Welcome, friends, to episode 336 of Color Magic Gaming Podcast, where we talk about all types of issues that affect gamers at and away from their gaming tables and computers. I am your host, PowrDragn, and just coming off some birthday stuff, so back to work with my main man, Brian Sonic. How's it going, dude?
Oh, and again, definitely a happy birthday. I hope you had fun.
I try to keep my birthdays pretty chill, so we just went and
Birthday is the one holiday where, like, the older you, I guess Christmas too, but the older you get, the more low key you try to make it.
For real, man. I didn't want to. I did go do some stuff. I'm thinking about making a video for my second channel work because we went out and did some like tide pooling and some like just real simple outdoor stuff. Nothing crazy. Went and tried some local restaurants. Like kept it chill. So it was a good time, just the way I want it. I don't need crazy over the top celebrations and all that. Like, and I did do a stream last night before the night, and people came and hung out, and we had a good time. So that's good enough for me. Got to share it with some fun people.
You know, I remember when you were a little kid, you're all like, you try to get I'm 9.5.
Oh yeah.
Like, when you're an adult, you're like, no.
Dude, I for real forget if my woman's birthday wasn't so close to mine, I'd forget my birthday was coming up some of the time. Like genuinely. Because it just has never been that big a deal for me.
Oh, ours is like Tish's birthday, our anniversary, and Jordan's birthday are all within about a week of each other. So it's June is a serious party around here.
Oh, so you're hard to forget then,
right?
Yeah.
Birthday. Oh, that means anniversary is soon.
Yep. Smart move though. They're all close together.
I wish I could say I planned that. I did not. Where I guess we could get everything scheduled right and everybody could get time off, and so yeah. It worked out well, but yeah, I get no credit for planning it that way.
Fair. Well, man, let's get into some stuff today, but remind everybody, first off, if you haven't, go hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/colormagic. You can help us out, keep supporting the show, and you can get a shout out just like Barry Drake. Thank you for being a patron for quite a while now, Barry, so thank you. Also, check out our sponsor over at Manapool. They're a great place to buy your cards, especially if you're looking for an alternative from the other big place where everybody sells stuff. But yeah, they actually have a really good system for loading decks in if you want to buy a whole deck list. If you're trying to sort your cards to figure out like what's the best way to get the fewest packages or save the most money, their system is very good at that. And they now have over 30 million cards on the site. So if you're looking for something, it's probably over there. So go check them out at manapool.com. But yeah, man, let's hop into our first story here, because we have a positive thing we get to talk about on Secret Lair. That's kind of rare these days.
Yeah.
So, gotta be honest, but this is one where I think we at least see a recurring pattern. But for starters, if you didn't know, there's a really fun Secret Lair coming with some really good cards in it. One of the better ones they've put together in a minute. And it's what they're calling Secret Lair X Global Fun for Women. Their magic is limitless. And the idea is these all feature prominent women or characters from Magic on the different cards, which is very cool. And they're all playable cards. You have Dark Ritual, Cultivate, Finale of Devastation, Lateral Blade of the Elves, which is one of the most popular elf commanders, Coat of Arms, which is good for pretty much any type of typal deck of any kind, Soul Ring, and Path of Ancestry. Which also means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, whereas you normally get 3 to 5, depending. And the price isn't significantly more expensive. It's $39.99. If you want the foil ones, they're $49.99. And then 50% of every sale will be donated to the Global Fund for Women. So through their Our Change Foundation, it's called. So yeah, man, this is one.
And also, women apparently were the lead on this design on this. So
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, the whole team were women. I'm pretty sure Lauren Bond, Sloan Leong, Stephanie Chung, Ann Wynn, Alicia Mix, Kat Morgan. Almost said that incorrectly. Athena Froelich and Rachel Agnes. So also really cool, right? You have a product geared at women, also driven by women. And then all the cards depict women. So I'm like, yes, this is what it should be.
I don't know if we've ever gotten a project quite like this before in the gaming space. So
Yeah, I don't.
As we say, when they do something crazy, we're gonna tell you about it. When they do something awesome, we're also gonna tell you. And this definitely, I can pretty much, find no fault here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Right. I'm pretty sure this is a unique situation, and I'm hoping this continues. If you have one that
Right?
supports gay rights, get all your LGBT folks or whatever work on it. Right. If you have one that supports the black community, get all your black employees in that department of work, whatever. Right. I think that's how you get the best output on the products. And I'm with you. This virtually no faults. I mean, even the fact that it's going to be print to demand. So anybody that wants one will have a chance to get one or multiples.
That'll, far as we know, that'll probably be the only secret lair this year that applies to, unless there's something else in the pipeline we don't know about.
Yeah, I think we've seen at this point, it's never going to be more than one or two a year
Yeah,
that get this type of treatment. Maybe one of the holiday ones or something
right.
that they know is going to be popular, but that's kind of it. I mean, we're just in a situation where we know there's issues, but I do appreciate that they're at least saving the print for demand one or print to demand ones for stuff like this, where it's supporting a charity or a cause or whatever. Like that's at least the right time to do it. And it's going to be available for a pretty long window, 2 weeks. It looks like from July 20th to August 3rd. So zero reason if somebody wants one of these that you can't get one. Like they've made a long order window. It's print to demand. The cards are useful, exciting, powerful, cool, unique artwork, especially if you're like a Vivian or um, any of the fan of the major characters. Like they've got several on here, which is kind of nice. So yeah, Liliana's on the Dark Ritual, which is cool. So I'm
Right.
like, man, again, I'm with you, right? We've called out all the problems with Secret Lair. But again, when they get it right, we have to be fair and also talk about things that are positive. And if you're hating on this, I don't know what to tell you. Unless you're just one of those insults that just like hates things promoting women. I don't
You
know
have
what.
doo doo in your soul, Michael said it.
Yeah,
Doo
exactly.
doo.
Because otherwise, I don't know what else you would hate on this. Like genuinely, like it's good cards, sweet art. They're only going to be available one time. You got a 2 week order window. The price is basically the price of a regular Secret Lair, and they're donating half the money. And the team that worked on it was all women. Yeah, kudos. Like just golf claps, like it is what it is. But if you're mad at this, I think you're the problem. Like I'm just going to call it out. Like genuinely, if you're mad at this, just take a step back and
Yeah.
say, what are you really upset at?
We
Right?
got plenty of stuff coming for you and us to be mad at, believe us.
Oh yeah. Like we will be able to complain about availability of cards and price of things, and who knows? Yeah, there'll probably be something with the Hobbit being a smaller set. Like there will be something we can find to complain about. We don't need to complain about stuff like this. This is a positive thing. It's a thing lots of people are going to like. It supports a good cause. It supports an underrepresented group in Magic. Like yeah, this just thumbs up all around. That's all I can say for this one. So yeah, credit where it's due. If you're listening, Watsy, more of this. This is great. But all right, that being said, let's hop into the soapbox because man, I got a thing this week. Now, we know anytime there's drama, people are quick on social media to jump on it and get some people canceled. And don't be wrong, some people kind of deserve to be canceled. So, like, I'm not saying it's always a bad thing, but make sure you're canceling the right people. Like, we have been seeing, or at least I have over socials, like several folks that are waking up and just seeing their comments and being like, yo, what's even going on? Like, why are people all in my comments being mad? Hell, I've seen on TikTok where people have highlighted the wrong person. So in their comments, everybody's clicking that and going over to that person's TikTok feed or whatever. And then I was thinking, like, even in the nerd community, we have one that just, well, is mostly resolved, but still resolving, involving bricks and minifigs, right? The Lego company that was in this whole thing with the guys' Star Wars collectibles and all that. There were multiple bricks and minifig stores I saw in different retailer groups that I'm in that people were talking about where they had to shut down business because they were getting threats, harassment, some death threats, whatever. And it's like they're a franchise. They're not even the same people. They had nothing. Hell, I'm pretty sure the one that had the problem was in Portland, and some of these people are in the Midwest and the East Coast. Like,
And Jesus, if you're trying to cancel people, death threats are never part of the playbook. Good Lord. It's just.
yeah, that's a whole different problem, right? Like, if you're going to be mad, like, okay, fine. If you want to call them out or something or cost them some business or whatever, but yeah, you don't need to go to those links. That's
By the way,
already
folks,
stupid.
it's illegal to threaten to kill someone. So don't get so mad at somebody that you end up getting arrested. How dumb is that?
Oh, sure, but it's also like when you're doing this stuff without doing the literal bare minimum of research. Like you could have literally just looked up where is the bricks and minifig store that's having the problems or
Yeah.
part of the controversy. Would have come up on a very simple search, right? So you would even know if you had the right store. Or when something's going on, make sure you have the right person. Hell, a lot of times a picture will pop up. So you can just match that to socials. Like there's no
That
reason to be
require
attacking.
research and stuff.
That's true. I'm asking people to do that. But here's my thing though. You're talking about affecting, I was going to say people's livelihood, but also their families end up
Yeah.
getting caught up in this. And it's like, what are we doing? And imagine, and I always tell people, like, what if you were in their shoes, though? Right? What if you happen to have a name similar to somebody else, or you work for a company that's got 30 different offices? Or hell, you're a small company, an individual company that's locally owned entrepreneurship, and your name just happens to be similar as the name of another store across the country. And I know that happens because I ran a store called the Game Closet. I got the orders for a whole different company one time for some other game closet. I think that was in the Midwest through Games Workshop. So there was at least one other store that had a similar name. Though I think we were the Game Closet and they were Game Closet, but I get the confusion and how that could happen. But my point is, like, there are people that are having their lives affected because folks are just so quick to just hit a button and go without just double checking it. And I am very lucky. Like, I'm pretty sure my name, there's maybe a handful of others and none in the gaming space. So at least if something happens with one of them, the odds of somebody coming at me are very, very low.
I got most common first name and last, or one of the most common on both of those. So yeah.
Yeah, your situation is a bit rougher than mine.
So good news is, right, it's good and bad news. It's hard for me to trend on something, but it's good and bad. If something crazy is happening, I'm probably not the one they're going to find. If something good is happening, though, also that I'm doing, sometimes it's hard to find me. It is what it is.
That's true. You got to hope the crazy person is a Brian with the Y, maybe. Yeah, man. I just don't get it. I get it, but I don't get it. Right? Like I get how it happens, but man, y'all are affecting so many people out here that have nothing to do with the issues you're even mad at. Hell, in some cases, they're on your side. But you're just coming out attacking them and they're getting blindsided. So it's like, man, and again, understand when you were calling these places or sending these angry emails or leaving these messages, like sometimes it has nothing to do with the employees, even at these stores or these businesses, right? They just
Large
happen to have a
portion of the
crappy
time,
owner.
it's got nothing to do with the employees.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, think about your job. That how many times your owner, CEO, C suite, whatever says or does something you don't like. How would you like somebody come in and harassing you at work or sending you a bunch of angry messages or whatever? Like it just doesn't make sense. Like we gotta chill, man. We gotta chill. But all right, that's my time. We'll give you a moment here.
Yeah, we've been talking about it feels like the entire gaming industry is on fire to an extent. And Xbox, was getting some wins. They brought the new CEO, brought the price of Game Pass back down to normal. Was going to bring back, still planning to bring back console exclusives, but I guess they say, hey, we can't let Sony have all the bad stuff in the news cycle. They are laying off a whole bunch of people. Some studios are going to be, I guess, downsized or turned independent again. Again, many. It's gotten so bad that Senator Bernie Sanders is weighing in because apparently about 3,200 people at Xbox are going to lose their jobs. 1,600, I guess, immediately, and then the rest is, I guess, a ongoing time frame. That's also a terrible thing to figure out. Like, how do I have a job this month, next month? All of that is bizarre. And of course, we are also in the middle of the first console generation ever where the price has gone up during the console wars because of various pressures, be it tariffs, transportation, try to get parts for computers, all these things. And yeah, Bernie's going in and reminding people that Microsoft made, see, where is the number? Well, yeah, billions of dollars last year, to put it mildly. CEO, I think, had a compensation package of over $96 million, yet they somehow cannot find money to pay large portions of their employees. This keeps going on. Again, it's not just a Microsoft problem. It happens throughout the industry. It's never the people in the C-suite that are losing their jobs. It's people, the rank and file, the people actually putting the product together, making the consoles, the games, and the ideas that you love. It's always those people, and many of them, understandably, completely leave the industry because why would you want to keep going through this?
Yeah. Now, I will say, maybe one of the good things that come out of this is because a couple of these smaller studios can now go work independently again.
Yeah,
So hopefully that helps them.
because to be honest, you like to think that having the Microsoft paycheck is going to be a good thing for your studio. It'll get more freedom, more creativity. That's not what has been happening in so many cases. Like Redfall's a prime example. I think, as far as I know, that's the first bad game Arcane has put out. Certainly the only one in recent memory, and it was after the Microsoft acquisition because hey, they were trying to cram live service and stuff down everybody's throats.
Yeah.
By the way, Sony CEO says, the solution to their problems is more live service. With the smoldering corpse of Concord still behind us in the background, they still want to go in on more live service. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's just not a thing, man. We just see too much of that already and all the failures. Here's the thing though that I think the real issue, because like if a company's struggling, you got to lay people off. You lay people off. Like we don't like it, but we get it. The problem is when you say we made 281 billion in sales.
Yeah, I found the number 101 billion just in
Yeah,
profit last year.
that was their
Also a 12
profit.
yeah. And they got a $12.5 billion tax break because hey, corporate tax breaks are a thing. And yeah, confirmed the CEO got paid 96 million.
But that's the problem, right? With a lot of businesses, corporations in the US is you're looking at a company that made $100 billion in the last 12 months, but then says, yeah, but we got to lay people off.
And not a small amount of people. 3,200 people during their financial year, basically. That's just, this doesn't feel sustainable. When you look at all the, and by the way, Grand Theft Auto is going to be, well, the main edition is $100.
Yep.
Your hobby is getting worse, yet everything is somehow, again, the Xbox is as we talked about during a few podcasts ago, during Christmas was the fourth place in console sales, yet paid $300 more for it than what it launched at. What?
Think about how insane that is. You had the fourth best selling holiday console and still made $100 billion.
Right.
Right? Like that tells you, and that's the problem, right? Because you look and say, all right, I get it. You're trying to make more for shareholders and this, that, and the other. But even if they made 90 billion, that's still a crap ton of money.
The amount of things they did terribly last year. I mean, we've talked about it on here. It's been just, they have stepped on rake after rake after rake, and because what are you listening to this on? Or if you're on your PC, you may well be using Windows right now. It's just
Yeah.
even if you don't necessarily have an Xbox, there's something in your house probably has Microsoft and or Windows on it.
It's
They've
just
kind of
insane.
inserted themselves into or you go to work, you probably use Microsoft Teams, even when it crashes periodically.
I just man, that's a, and we're and it to be fair, it's not just Microsoft. We've seen it
No,
with everybody, right?
Sony is just as we talked about
Yeah,
last week.
Sony.
Hey, no, no more physical copies, and we all know Microsoft, in all likelihood, plans to do away with discs.
Oh, sure, sure.
They just let Sony go out front. They can take all the heat. So when Microsoft announced it, but hey, yeah, just another thing. We knew this was coming.
And not to get crazy political, but again, when we're talking about tax breaks on a company making 100 billion, where hell, and this applies to like Meta, Google, all them, right? Like, what are we doing?
No, our pocketbooks are political. One of
Yeah,
everybody's primary physical or political concerns is going to be why does this cost so much? And again, Steam Machine, $1,100.
yeah, that's crazy because I can still
Yeah,
put together, even with higher prices, a very solid PC for less than that.
Xbox Series X, which by the way is the dead last console and has virtually no exclusive games to warrant buying it, $800. What the hell?
Yeah,
Your hobby is getting worse, and by the way, you're going to pay more for it. It's just hard to be a gamer right now. It really is. It's just, by
I've
the
been
way,
telling people for a
won't
while, man, build a PC when you can because that's probably your best bet right now.
you won't own any of your games or apparently your physical media because, as I mentioned last week, Sony UK apparently deleted or is in the process of deleting 500 movies, TV shows that again you paid for under the theory that you would own them.
Yep, not a thing. So yeah, man, I think this is just going to be an ongoing thing we got to pay attention to because I don't think we're nearly finished with this
You
as we get through the rest of this year. But yeah, let's talk about what we learned because I think both of these are very interesting facts that people will find pretty interesting. And mine actually is a thing I was aware of, but I didn't realize how big the number was. So I went looking and I was curious how much the Pokemon company, the company that basically is in charge of doing all the Pokemon cards and whatever, but they do own other Pokemon related things. They made $3.34 billion last year. Basically almost double what Magic made last year.
it's and we know Magic over there rolling around in money. This is wild.
Yeah, isn't that wild? And on
It
top of
checks
that,
out with all the stories about people stealing Pokemon cards, stealing. Did you see at Target they were stealing Pokemon displays?
oh yeah. Yeah, anything with the Pokemon brand on it potentially has a value.
What kind of a human being are you? Are you just gonna go in Target, just pull down a whole display and start walking toward the door?
Hey, some people have the confidence of a whole other level, dude. Like,
And when the ones that got away with it, because again, you now put the onus on the Target employee who likely does not get paid enough to fist fight you. You know,
my thing is right now, you're on every single camera, like inside and outside. They're gonna see your car, they're gonna see you. Like, it's like, how long do you think you're gonna get away with that? Like, people are crazy. But it does also lead to the other point that they are one of the highest valued media franchises
yeah.
at $147 billion lifetime that they have made. That is such a humongous number for basically a cartoon that spawned this crazy video game plushy, whatever industry.
And they've cracked the media thing because I mean, obviously the cartoons all do really well. They've started doing live action movies like Detective Pikachu that are printing fistfuls of money.
Yeah.
It's going to keep going.
So credit to them, man. I mean, can't hate on it. Yeah. Now, admittedly, yes, it does create, like you're saying, some really crazy real world scenarios. because you have so many people that are literally just buying these things to resell them. They're not even part of the communities, which sucks. But the company's doing what they can to try to curb some of the problems here and there.
Yeah, I saw the CEO has weighed in on that. They realize scalping is a problem. They are doing everything they can to try to,
Yeah.
because they don't. That's not fun. It's not. This really, they want this to be for the fans that actually want to play their Pokemon cards and enjoy their tournaments. And scalping, as with Magic, that's it's obviously an economic thing you had to deal with, but it's not good for the future of the hobby or for the future of bringing up kids that want to continue playing Pokemon.
Yeah, and I've told people it's that way with everything, right? You're a victim of your own success, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? We see so many brands where the fans are both the best thing and the worst thing to happen to the products. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about shoes or movies or whatever, right? It's just a constant thing we see.
They're even talking about in Japan, you might have to use government ID to purchase Pokemon
Yeah.
cards. That's
Yeah.
how wild it has gotten.
But yeah, man, it's an interesting thing. I mean, Pokemon juggernaut. Like, put some respect on them little monsters' names.
And it's also like if GameStop survives, we talked about the death of physical cartridges, or I said cartridges like an old person, physical games. It's because they quickly jumped into the Pokemon hobby with the cards, and actually this past quarter, game sales or video game sales were number two. Their number one topic or their number one item now is collectibles because they jumped in on buying of cards and grading it. So while we thought the CEO was crazy, he may have actually saved the company on that one.
Yeah, another interesting story because we talked about it, but kind of since we're just on that space, GameStop, I believe, now has acquired close to enough stock to try and make a full purchase of eBay.
Which is wild. That's just
Yeah. So
this company's ability to somehow stave off death is going to be studied.
yeah, we'll follow that up next week because that's kind of a developing thing.
Yeah.
But we've seen some places report earlier today that apparently their whole plan was like, okay, what if we just buy enough stock in the company that we can at least get on, one of the decision making positions or something. So yeah, we'll see. This whole thing, the fact that it's even still going is crazy. But yeah, dude, you have something else about a whole different game that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, more fuel for this ongoing debate about when is a game new? What awards can a game win? Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I think is a lot of people, including mine, most favorite game in the series. You know, this one where you get to be the assassin is also a pirate. Can you think of a better video game character? I don't know how. But yeah, they've done. This is not brand new. It's basically kind of a remaster of the first game, and they changed enough to where IGN actually gave them a 9 out of 10, which I believe is higher than what they rated the original Assassin's Creed back in, I want to say, 2013 or 14. So that's now people are asking like, okay, if it's new enough to get a 9 out of 10, to get 9 out of 10. Can it be game of the year? there's plenty of games that came out this year that didn't score a 9 out of 10 from any reliable source. So if you remember a few years ago, I think Elden Ring was I believe was one of its DLCs was nominated for game of the year, even though Elden Ring had come out the year before. So this is more fuel for that fire. Is when is a game new? Exactly what percentage of new content means you can be nominated for Game of the Year? And I don't have the answers to some of these questions, but they're being asked right now.
I think that's the real issue is how much, what percentage has to be new to qualify you for that, right? Or do we just put you in categories or something, but you can't be
They
game of the
may
year? Like, I don't
eventually
know.
have to do just a best remake or remaster category, which may hopefully solve the problem.
Yeah.
Although, again, if it's legitimately a 9 out of 10, I guess it technically deserves to be voted on and considered. Because how many games that came out this year, again, didn't score a 9? Call of Duty,
Oh, a lot.
didn't get 9s from most sources. Madden, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So this is a game that's 14, 15 years old, but still apparently better than 80 to 90% of the games that were released this year.
I mean, there's also the question of, is it just new to a lot of new consumers?
Also true. Yeah, okay, it was 2013. So yeah, like there are plenty of us. I'm sure plenty of people in our listening audience that weren't alive in 2013. So they've never played it before, possibly.
Yeah,
And if
that's
you pick it up
possible.
now for the first time, it may well be the best game you've
Or I
released.
mean, they were at least too young to have played it,
Right?
because you're talking 13 years. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
sure. Yeah, it's an interesting thing, man. That'll be another one as we get to the awards and just see how people feel when those announcements come out. But yeah, let's get into some quick topics here. So yeah, we told you about Cataclysm Arcade, BDM's game over there with Mothership Games. Well, they had a hell of a last few days and finished at over $2 million last night,
Okay.
around midnight local time, I believe. But yeah, good for them, man. That's a hell of a lot of money for a new game. And that to me says they did a lot of things right. They had a really good Kickstarter campaign. They got the right promotion out there. And the industry as a whole is supporting them and what they're doing. It's not just, oh, this is trendy and looks cool. We're going to buy this. Like, a lot of this is leveraging the pedigree and the trust and the people involved, which is also very cool. But man, yeah, it's 2,012,367 and a fair amount per backer because there was 8,700 backers. So yeah, good on them. Lots of retailers seem excited about it. So we'll see where this goes. I believe they're supposed to start shipping items for this in Q4, if I'm not mistaken. So the end of the year. But yeah, I think this is one of those ones that will do all right. So good on them, man. It's rare to see a card game hit those kind of numbers.
Right.
So very cool that they were able to do it. Yeah, kind of to your point earlier, though, there is a thing we've seen a few different message groups and Reddit, a few spots pointing out that there's a lot of magic cards and magic product, particularly sealed, that has started just rocketing the last couple of months. People who were tracking certain things because they've invested a bunch into a certain set or whatever are kind of surprised at the numbers. And I don't have a clear explanation for why, but there are a lot of new faces picking up the game, right? Whether it's because of other social influences from different creators, different actors getting involved. I mean, hell, even the last couple months, we've seen actors, athletes,
Well, yeah, the
you
Marvel
know,
Superheroes trailer literally has the actor that plays Baron Zemo in it. I mean,
yeah.
they went all out.
Hell, we had another Squeed and Crag video that had what's her name? Kamala Khan or whatever, whoever played her, right? She was in the thing. So
I'm so glad they're going to keep them around. It looks like they're going to
yeah,
keep.
you might as well use them. I mean, everything they
Yeah,
do is a hit. But the fact that we're seeing this so regularly is again where you start become a victim of your own success, right? People are on the one hand like, hey, my cards are worth stuff. That's great. But then when you go to buy singles because you want to build a deck, some of those cards are going to be really expensive, right? And we're seeing some stuff from last year or the year before where you're talking about like commander decks and stuff that are going up high in price. And people don't really understand. And I'm like, well, yeah, but think about it. If something came out a couple of years ago and say, I don't know, Thunder Junction or whatever, or Bloomborough, that was almost what 2.5 years ago
Yeah.
that those came out, right? The reality is there's just not a lot of those available. And Watsy's not going to keep printing stuff from 3 years ago that wouldn't hardly sell at this point, right? What's out there in distribution is what's out there. So if somebody new comes along and they're like, man, I really want a Bloomborough mouse deck or whatever, well, they're just going to pay what it costs. Especially if their favorite creator or whoever got them onto the game says it's good or they're big fans of it. Well, they want to be like them or they're going to take the recommendation or whatever.
Is this right? The Soul Stone is up to $125 now?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Jesus, Pete.
Yeah. But here's the other thing too, right? We also, because we're talking about um the Hobbit coming, that's kicked up all the conversation around the Universes Beyond and the first Lord of the Rings and Final Fantasy, right? Where people are talking about the chase cards again, where you want to get one of the soul rings or you want to get a golden chocobo or whatever. So
Which
those
when
are,
we heard they were doing Marvel, we were like, well, obviously they're gonna do the Infinity Stones, and they're gonna be stupid, was valuable if they're any good. And here we go,
yeah.
the Soul Stone. You literally will have to probably sacrifice a loved one to be able to afford the Soul Stone. I'm sorry, little one.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a crazy thing. And people say, "Oh, it's a bubble, it's not sustainable." Like we hope so.
But in fairness, a whole bunch of money can be made during bubbles. You just gotta know when to get out.
Yep. And the other thing too is the term bubble is overused, right? Because there's no like Wizards isn't particularly invested, if you will, in secondary stocks or whatever, right? Like they make their money when it goes out the door and then that's it. So anything otherwise is just because people in the general public are deciding they want to pay more for a thing. So it's literally just till the popularity dies out. And right now, like we've talked about on the last couple of shows, like the popularity of trading card games is insane right now.
Yeah, despite as we talk about the numbers are going up because people want to play it.
Yeah. But even games that have had bad releases have sold a lot. Right? That's the thing.
Yeah,
So just I don't know.
that's
People have
part
been
of the
saying,
psychology. It's like, man, when you can't get something, that makes you want it that much more. And now that we have this social media engine where you can look online and see your favorite creators at their friends and other people and how much fun they're having, the FOMO is real.
yeah. And we people have been saying since Lord of the Rings a couple of years ago, just oh well, this popularity come down and these won't stay expensive and blah 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 blah. Like that has not happened. Right? People have been talking about, oh, this Pokemon trend will be over, and eventually, like, we're in like year 4 or 5 of dealing with this now,
Right.
right? Like this is sadly the new
It'll go
norm for
from
the time
white
being.
hot to only smoldering.
Yeah, exactly, right. And that's the other thing too, right? Let's say, to use general terms people are using, the bubble does burst. Well, does that mean it comes down from being 100% to 85%? Right? We're not magically going to drop in half.
No.
That's just not how this works. Like these people who came to the game, while the highest, loudest voices or whatever might go away, they're still here playing the game and buying cards. Right. So I don't know what to tell people. Just keep your eye on it. If there's something you
Logan
want and you see
Paul
it,
still wearing, 10 out of 10 Charizards around his neck.
also true. Also true. Hell, I just saw a graded base set one sold for some number of millions or whatever. Just like a couple weeks ago, I think. So it's all out of control right now, man. It is a crazy, crazy time. In other interesting news, the creator of Invincible has said, like, you know what? Yeah, I do want to be and have my characters in a Magic set.
Which I feel like basically means it's happening because Invincible is a creator-owned comic. So he owns all rights to pretty much everything. So if he wants to do it, and
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason why Wizards wouldn't want to do it. So I feel like at some point, he let you know at some point in the future, we are getting at least an Invincible Secret Lair.
Oh, he said straight up, if you know somebody at Wizards, we can set something up. Like exact quote. So
I
he's
suppose like
ready.
is he or I guess maybe he has people that sign these things because they did Walking Dead already.
Yeah.
So he's
I
got
mean,
to or I guess know somebody who knows somebody.
yeah, I
Although I
mean,
guess that was the TV show, so they probably do have a different set of people doing their deals.
exactly. It was probably AMC and, that whole thing. But I here's the thing. If I'm somebody at Wizards at this point, and not even just with this guy, right? With I think his name's Kirkman. Robert Kirkman is
Yep.
the guy. But not just him, but any big brand comes forward and is like, "Yeah, we'd like to work with Magic." Like, you start sending emails and phone calls. Because worst case scenario, like I don't think we would. Maybe if we go back to doing a commander set, then maybe we could do a commander set of Invincible. I don't know if we'd get a full set of Invincible, but If not, you can at least get a couple, a Secret Lair super drop or something with like 15 cards or some such. But to not have the Invincible characters on cards seems a little silly if the guy's just willing to talk business and make it happen.
Yeah, and he definitely is. You can tell, like, we've got the TV show now. They just did a video game that was very well received. So he really is trying to put Invincible out there and make it a franchise where, hey, possibly on the level with, the MCU, or like, hey, where people make Invincible and Omni Man household names as much as they can. And again, it is, if you hadn't seen it, it is very gory, very graphic, very murdery.
But dude, as he should, because we were talking off the air, like before the TV show came out, I don't think I'd heard anybody even mention Invincible for a decade before that. And it's not like it's ever been a bad book or anything.
No.
It just wasn't popular among comic nerds in the zeitgeist or whatever. Unless
Also,
you were
one
like,
of the things is he started with a definitive ending.
yes,
It is tells a contained story over several years, and he, as far as I had, does not plan. Although maybe all the Amazon money may want more, but
yeah,
he was never trying to do where, hey, Captain America is still putting out comic books 75 years from now.
I think he's really smart though, of just like strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
Right? Just get all the money you can. It's like the dudes that made Among Us or whatever. Right? Like that game came out, didn't do anything, it floundered, but then coincidentally COVID hit and it took off. And man, they were like, yeah, let's make action figures, lunchbox, t-shirts, whatever.
There's a
like
TV show coming now. They signed everything as well. You should, when you got a chance to make that money.
Imagine having a project where you're like, well, I guess this is all I'm going to make off this.
And then
bam. In the case of Invincible, hell, 20 years later, you've got a TV show, merchandise.
20 years.
I think it was it not?
You're probably right.
When did the Invincible comic release? It had to have been that long, right? More than that, probably.
Yeah, because animated shows.
2003, it says.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Because like I said, I knew it was a long time ago. Yeah, began publication on January 22, 2003. And it ran for 144 issues and concluded in 2018. So yeah, there you go.
By comic book standards, is a blip on the map in terms of longevity.
Sure, but also longer than a lot of books get to run too. Though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most of them intend to go for infinity. He had a book where Image would have happily printed it for it. Like, no, I've told the story I want to tell, and I want to run this into the ground.
Now, that being said,
for that,
do we think it's going to happen? I do. I think with another season 4, I believe it is, it's coming soon. Why not? Right?
Yeah, if he wants to do it. There's zero reason to not do it.
And the difference is, if you do a Secret Lair, you could get that project done and ready to go for print and whatever, probably in a couple months. It probably takes a quarter of a year or so, but like you can get that done because you're just picking cards for the most part, unless you're doing some original exclusive ones. Yeah. But if you're just doing reprint with their artwork and whatever, like, yeah, you can get those done and available on the website. Right? I don't see a reason why we can't do that. And there's be a lot of people. I mean, that show has gotten a lot of fans over the last couple of years.
Yep.
So that could be a pretty popular,
very well done adaptation.
Yeah. So we'll see. Speaking of though, back on the card game stuff, apparently there's another Naruto game coming.
Yeah, which is kind of wild because there is currently a Naruto game being done by, I think, Mythos, and so it's out there, and nobody has said that it's going away, but Bandai Namco has announced they're releasing a new Naruto CCG in 2027, so it's hard to envision any outcome other than the current game drying up and blowing away, as what happened with Legends of Runeterra when they announced, that they were going to do the Riftbound TCG. So, I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I'd never like to see anybody's game go away, but then it's also kind of wild to, license a game while you still got another game in literally the same. At least Riftbound was, okay, it's a paper TCG where Runeterra was all digital. They are straight. This is paper on paper crime, if you will. Because again, with the Bandai Namco is on a generational run with anime like this. They got the One Piece game that's doing gangbusters. Union Arena. There's several. There's a Gundam game. Yeah, all your anime card games are belong to Bandai Namco right now. So it is, barring something miraculous, we expect another hit for this one, and I guess the current games again just goes away, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think the other game, I don't know, is that an imported version of the game? I don't even remember from Mythos, but it
Uh,
might be.
it may be. I've not played it at all.
But again, you're talking about more trading card games that are doing well, right? And I don't necessarily blame Bandai. It's like, hey, you can cash in like everybody else. Might as well do it right now. It's just absolutely insane. But we'll see. I mean, we've talked about it before, right? A lot of these Japanese licenses for these anime series aren't for very long. So it's also possible that the other version, the license runs out in a year anyway.
Also possible.
You know, that's honestly, I would say if you play the current one, I would have that on my radar that even if they didn't
Yeah,
announce it, you might have 12 to 18 months,
right.
and that might be it. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm sure there will be a small group of people that prefer the current game, and they'll keep
Sure.
their card that they convince their friends to play. They will continue to do so, but yeah, I mean, and I understand why whoever is holding Naruto's license would work with Bandai because One Piece, Gundam, Union Arena, they are cranking out nothing but hits right now.
And we've said before, right?
Dragon
The
Ball
biggest
Z and its 14th or 15th card game incarnation.
yeah, well, that's exactly what I was getting at, right? That's the biggest perpetrator of the whole thing. The Dragon Ball Z licenses seem to last 3 to 5 years. We get a
And
couple of years off, and then there's a new one,
people
right?
are ready
And
to
we
pick
just run
right
that
back
cycle
up
forever.
where it left off.
Yeah. And that's been it doesn't matter what company has a license. It's been that way with all of them. So, wouldn't surprise me if this kind of falls in that same bucket.
I have played Fusion World, so yeah, I'm and a couple of the other ones too. They've gotten my money on more than one occasion.
Last thing really to talk about though is some X-Men 97 crossover with Marvel Rivals. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, if you haven't seen X-Men 97 and you even kind of like the X-Men, it is absolutely the best way to do nostalgia and fan service and all of that stuff. But the stories, stand on their own even if you have not seen, any of the previous show. You can just kind of pick up a recap and have a general idea what's going on. So, of course, Marvel Rivals Season 9 begins, I believe, on Friday. And Jubilee, who is one of the major characters in X-Men 97, is going to be one of the new characters in Marvel Rivals. And they're too doing what they have been doing, where they'll give you one character that most people have probably heard of. This is 2 seasons in a row where it's been an X-Man, and the other character is the Hood, where yeah, you it's a deep dive, and that's pretty much what they've been doing. Last time I think was Cyclops and Devil Dinosaur, where yeah, even though Devil Dinosaur has a Disney cartoon, a lot of people are like, "What? Who in the blue hell, as The Rock would say, is a Devil Dinosaur?"
Yep.
But it absolutely has been working for him. Oh, and by the way, this Jubilee is a vampire because that did happen to her in the comic books. Although, well, even I had forgot about that.
I don't even think I remember that.
Right?
That's
Like so many
crazy.
characters in the comic book, she got over it.
Well,
But
yeah, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just good marketing, right? If
right,
you have two different products out, two different license things that you can cross over and take advantage of, you might as well. It's good for the brand. You're going to send traffic both ways from those products because there's going to be some number of people who are like, oh, wait, what's this version of Jubilee? And somebody's going to go, oh, it's from X Men 97. And like, oh, I should go check out that show, right?
right,
So, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Also, cool that Jubilee was one of the major players from the old X-Men as well. So it's kind of cool to see if that still carries through here.
right. Again, so many great Easter eggs. I will not spoil. If you were a child of the '90s, especially, please go watch X-Men '97. It's incredible.
Well, man, on that note, before they go watch it, where can they find you out on the social medias
See
machines?
me on YouTube over at Age of Wagers. I have currently a 7 game hitting streak in baseball, so that is not necessarily close to 57, but I am starting to think about it a little bit.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at PowrDragn, PowrDragn. Lots of cool stuff going on over on the YouTube channel and some other fun stuff coming down the pipe. So come follow me on socials and everything, just so you don't miss out on some things I can't talk about yet. But as always, wherever you are watching or listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Please remember to take care of yourselves and your family. Remember to be awesome. And most importantly, be awesome to each other.